Hi guys, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. And if you haven't been here before, please subscribe to be a part of the bilingual family. So in today's video, I wanted to do a shop my stash kind of video because I just love those kind of videos, and I think you guys do too. And today I wanted to specifically use products that I haven't used in a while, basically makeup that I seem to have forgotten about. All products will be mentioned down below in the description box. Okay, so we picked the makeup and now it's time to apply the makeup, and I think I'm gonna start with the palette that we chose. So I chose the Subculture palette, like I said, because it's been a really long time since I actually used this palette, and I do still really like and love this palette, even for the colors, the tones, and I feel like it's perfect for fall. So I think we're going to use this one today, which is scary, obviously. And I also want to start with this palette in case I have like any fallout, because if any kind of fallout from this palette reaches my complexion, it is incurable. So for concealer, I picked the Raw Beauty Concealer because it's the one that's been in my collection the longest, and I feel like I haven't really mentioned it recently. So that is also the one that we're going to use on the eyes because I don't have an eye primer. I have this little hairpiece, I don't know if you can tell, like this little guy right here that's been annoying me like the entire day. I'm gonna start with a transition shade, and that is the shade Dawn. I did apply an oil today to my face, like in my skincare regimen, because my face is really dry lately. It's the winter weather that's coming. I can just feel it. Then I'm gonna take a slightly more tapered brush like this one, and I'm gonna go into New Wave, which is this orangey color right here, and then we're just gonna apply that on the outer corner, I think is where I want to put this shade. And then we're gonna start with a little bit of liner, and I'm gonna choose the shade Untamed for this, which is like the in-between green in this palette. And we're just gonna create a guideline first, so like that, straight out, and then bring it in. Okay, so I have, for now, finished off the eyes. This is definitely a look where you have to trust the process because we're also going to clean up those edges. So now I'm going to use the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in Like Moss. This is from the Raw Beauty collection, and I really wanted to use this because it's such a beautiful green shade. The first third, and then I'm also taking that on the center. I'm gonna do that with my finger first, like a kind of loosey synthetic brush works. You don't want anything that's too dense or too hard pressed with these Super Shocks. Like something like this. This is a brush from Nabla, but the name has wiped off, is ideal. And then I'm also gonna use a little bit of this shade right here, Electric, which is like the greeny shimmer in this palette. And then I'm quickly going to move on to the base before we finish off the eyes, because it's very crucial that I do that before I finish off the eyes to really get like a sharp line and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do that quickly and then we'll continue. Wait, I'll do that quickly? I have to show you. Okay, so this is the look. So for foundation, I chose the Essence Fresh and Fit Awake Makeup Healthy Glow foundation. I chose this one because it's been a long time since I used this. I really only stick to the mix that I have right now, which is like my Fenty and my Nabla one together. So I really wanted to use this one today. I think it will be great. I have the shade 10 Fresh Ivory, which is too dark for me at the moment. So I do apologize for the shade match. So I do like this foundation. It's just that it's not the correct shade for me. So I tend to not use it or only use it during the summer, but obviously summer has passed. I've got my foundation brush and I'm just gonna buff this out. I think with the base that I have on today, this is gonna be really pretty. So this has, like, I would say medium coverage. I can definitely still see some of the redness that I have, and also just like my blemishes and stuff, I can still see all of that. but right now the finish together with my skincare base that I have on is exquisite. And it reminds me that I have to use this more. Like I said before, I used the Raw Beauty Liquid Touch Concealer. So I'm gonna apply a little bit right here, right here, right here. A little bit, oh, that's too much. And I'm again going to use that foundation brush for the places on my face. This is a beautiful concealer. I really, really like it. Like, the shade is also really, really nice for me when I have the correct foundation match underneath. The tiniest bit goes a really, really, really long way. And the finish is really, really beautiful. I really like the finish on my skin. Like, it's kind of like a satin matte. I don't know how it will react to the oil that I've put on. The oil is really influencing how my base is looking today, but not in a bad way. I do apologize beforehand, like, the project pen update is coming. It's gonna take a while, but it is coming. So I'm gonna use this as the blush. This is the MUA Makeup Academy Blush Liquid Cream Blush in the shade Taupe Tango. I'm also going to use this because I have not used this in such a long time, as you can tell by the fact that the writing is completely gone. But this is the ABH Liquid Glow in Perler. I have not used this in such a long time. So I'm going to take a little bit on my finger. This is very metallic. Like, this is not a subtle sheen whatsoever. I'm going to take my Real Techniques brush and just kind of pat this into the skin. So that means that we're actually going to set the face now, and I'm going to use the Essence All About Matte Fixing Compact Powder. Again, very much like the concealer, this is not necessarily a product that I haven't used in a while, because I only have 2 powders and then you use them quite frequently. I'm going to set underneath the eyes. And then for bronzer, I have 2 bronzers that I haven't used in a really long time, so I chose the Revolution Reloaded Matte Bronzer, and I chose the Kosas Sunshine Baked Bronzer, I think, and this is the shade Light. So I am going to use this one today instead of like the other one, because I just feel like I haven't used this in such a long time. We're gonna apply some of this. I don't know, I don't even remember exactly how I feel about this product. And I also didn't necessarily, like, I like the shimmeriness of this in the beginning, but when you use shimmer all over, like a dewy base, a dewy blush, or dewy bronzer, a dewy eyes, dewy lips, you know, it can, you know, too much is too much. I felt like the combination of this color and then the formula and the shimmer just wasn't necessarily what I was looking for after a while. And then for blush, we're gonna use orange blush. So this is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Peachy. I'm gonna use a brush from BH Cosmetics for this, and I'm actually gonna only tap in 2 times because that is more than enough. It's not hassle-free, I would say. And it's also powder. I'm just not the biggest fan of powder. Like, I really do love this shade for like editorial days. Like, it's a very nice tangerine kind of color. For lip liner, I chose the NYX Lip Pencil in the shade Nude Beige. This is a lip pencil that I have not used in such a long time. This is actually quite a cool toned lip liner. If you want to contour your lips, I feel like if you are a similar skin tone to mine, this will be like an ideal color because it's very cool toned and it's almost like a shadow. I just realized that I have to use this more. There we go. Are my lips powdier? I do think so. And then for lipstick, we chose ABH Kiss lipstick. I have not used this in a really long time, I'm gonna be honest. It's in my project pan, but it's been a while. It's a really nice color, but I do prefer something that is a little bit more creamy. Like, this is really like a kind of matte that really tugs at the lips, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of that. And then finally, I'm gonna put the Colourpop Gloss on that we chose. This is beautiful, but I feel like it's such a pale nude that I hardly ever use this, even though I really like the formula. Also, the scent. This is a very interesting lip combo. I do really like it, actually. So we're gonna use Untamed, which is that green shade that we use as a liner. And then we're gonna smudge that, not too much, as a little bit of a liner. And then I'm gonna take that same blending brush and New Wave again, which is that orangey shade. And I'm gonna apply that underneath and connecting it on top. And then finally, I'm actually going to use a little bit of that cube shade, which is this one right here. And I'm going to just put that on my pinky finger. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner to have a little bit of pink, so it matches the lips a little bit better. And that, guys, ends up today's makeup look. This is what we created with the makeup that I haven't used in a while. I'm really happy that I used some of these products again because they reminded me of how wonderful they are. Others, not so much. Like, it just reminded me of why I didn't necessarily use them. But yeah, this is the finished makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed watching today's video with all the inconsistencies that there are in the video itself. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will probably see you in my next video. Bye!